All right, we're back to where we started from with our backbeat. Instead of doing a basic groove this time, we're going to make what is known as 4 on the floor, otherwise referred to as disco. And it's pretty simple. It's just you have to know where things are taking place, and this is the advantage of knowing where things are happening. So we're going to return kick number 3 back at full velocity. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a couple changes. They're not really drastic at all. Now, we call it 4 on the floor. That means we actually need 4 kicks and 1 on each number. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. At this point, we already have snares happening on 2 and 4, which we're going to need to keep those as well. By selecting both of these and using the Option key, I'm going to make a copy down here. So now I got 1, 2, 3, 4 on the floor. Not too bad. Now the other thing that makes it very much how disco works, or the 4 on the floor worked, was actually open or pedal hi-hats in between. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select each one of these in between the beats, in other words the ands, and I'm going to move them up to open. So now as it goes through, it's going to have a much bigger movement. So that's the main part of the beat. I like to usually make it a little more interesting as well, where I can break things up and also put some other parts in. So what I'm going to do for this first measure is I'm going to add in an extra kick, and it's going to be on the and of 4. Get a little more room to move around. So taking some of the consistency out, but for a reason. So let's take this whole part, we'll copy it, and just to make this one different from the first one, we're going to take what was moved to the and of 4 and move it to the of 4, right there on the end. So now, these two parts, if looped together, sound like this. Just make 4 measures worth. Use some of the same tricks as before. Start off with a crash cymbal at the beginning. But at the end, I want to have a turnaround again. Kind of like that turnaround idea. So what we'll do is we'll take a different advantage. We'll actually keep the snare and the kick idea where they are, but we'll move this one over. And another one there. So now our ending sounds like this. Now we can go with the original ending we did before, which we'll give that a try. Kick. Gonna go to the E. We'll move all the rest of these to hit the end. So now here's the last measure. Mind you, it does break up our initial 4 on the floor pattern we had going there, but that's okay. So grab all 4, join them together. Let's see what they all look like in the score. Nice, they all fit in one measure. We can go back and do the same layout adjustments we did before. Go to global format. And I'll just do them here in the same place. So we'll say 2 measures per line, a little more line distance between them. Go to numbers and names, turn the name off. And we'll take our step down to 0, which means just the first one on each line. So now, we'll build up and take a look at it. That's a nice little disco groove. So, we haven't saved it yet, so we probably should. So go to File, Save As. And let's call this one Disco Groove. Folder, audio files, save it here. And so now I have another part to come back to.